All right, Titans fans, my second mock draft of the 2023 NFL season, draft season, whatever you want to call it, is out. And I had the Titans taking, with their first round pick, I had them actually going receiver Jordan Addison out of USC. And what I want to do is when I do these mocks, I want to kind of explain kind of where I'm coming from and kind of the options. I didn't quite have the time per se to do that in my videos or in my written mock as well. So each time I put out a mock, I'm gonna do a video right here as well explaining that pick. Now, going into the mock, going into this draft season, I think the three biggest needs for the Titans, in my opinion, are offensive tackle, guard, and to an extent, I think cornerback is an issue. Offensive tackle, obviously, with the Taylor Lewan injury, don't think he's going to be back. So I know Daly's been filling in and look good at times. He's more of just a swing tackle backup. I don't think he's a guy that you want to ride with to be your starter in the future. And then guard, left guard, I think is the big glaring weakness for the Titans. Brewer, I don't think is very good at all. I think he's better as a backup once again too, but I definitely think that's two positions you need to really target, and that can happen in free agency too. Getting a plug and play guard, tackle is a little bit tougher, so that's why I think hitting into the draft is that. Cornerback issue too. I like Fulton, I like McCreary, but who do you have after those guys? And the Titans have thrown out a bunch of guys that haven't really played well. I know you're getting Elijah Molden back at some point next year. Who knows how he's going to be coming back from injury. Caleb Fairley's, I mean, he's barely getting to play at times, and so that tells you what the team and the coaches think of him. So I think cornerback's definitely an area of need as well. Maybe you can you need three good corners, and you got Fulton, you've got McCreary. You just need at least one. Even if Molden comes back and is a stud nickel for you. I still think you need a good number three, at least outside receiver. So those are the three positions I kind of went into looking for, and I just didn't find anybody. With offensive tackle, I think it's a little bit of a weaker class. Jalen Duncan and Paris Johnson Jr. are my top two tackles, I think, in this draft. And Duncan and Paris Johnson both went in the top 20. I think they're both top 10 caliber picks. So they're probably not going to be there. Peter Skoronski is the next guy I think you have to keep an eye on. I don't know if he's going to be a left tackle or a guard. I think he could, maybe you start him at tackle, move him in the guard. He was also gone in this. And so at tackle, we're looking at three players. And the first one is Jackson Kirkland, who actually declared for the 2022 draft, but ended up pulling back out with an injury. Now he's playing this year. I think his injury issues are going to push him to the second round. So I don't think first round pick is going to be there. And then the other two guys are redshirt sophomores. And so I'm not certain that they're going to come out. Plus, the franchise has had some history with kind of, Isaiah Wilson, redshirt freshman. So Oluma Fashanu from Penn State, their left tackle, and Broderick Jones from Georgia, their left tackle. I think those are two guys that if they do declare, they very well could go in the late first round. But like I said, we're not even halfway through the NFL season. They're redshirt sophomores. I'm anticipating them returning to school, so that's kind of why I maybe didn't consider them here. So that's tackle. That's why I didn't really like. I don't really like any of those positions. At guard, so that's another issue. I think Cedric Van Pran from Georgia is the top interior offensive lineman. I think he's an absolute stud. I had him go in the top 15 to Seattle. Hey, there were three guys that I could consider for this pick. Emil Ekiyor, he's the right guard for Alabama. Andrew Voorhees is the left guard for USC. And then Jarrett Patterson is a big center for Notre Dame, and I think he's a guy that could potentially play left guard, and then maybe in a year or so when Ben Jones's contract comes up, maybe they move Patterson over there and plug in a guard. And so those are three guys I considered, and I really, really thought about Ekiyor from Alabama, but I just to me, because I know guard was an issue last year, I mocked him taking Kenyon Green. I know Zion Johnson was a possibility. Both those guys went in the top 20. But it just didn't seem to me like a John Robinson pick. And as we know, John Robinson wants to hit home runs in the first round. He takes a big chances. He took it on Jeffrey Simmons coming off that ACL injury, coming off the issue he had before he got to Mississippi State, that he was going to be, healthy and a model citizen. He took a big shot at Caleb Farley coming off injury. It didn't work. He took a big shot with the potential of Isaiah Wilson. That didn't work. Once again, took a big shot on Treylon Burks, raw physical tools. I think that might end up working out. So I didn't think guard. I thought, maybe guard, they kind of go in the second round. There wasn't a clear cut like, oh, this guy is premium value. They have to take him. So that's why I passed. Cornerback. That's, like I said, a need that I thought. Caleb Farley isn't looking like the answer. I had 4 cornerbacks going before the Titans picked. I had Cam Smith as my top guy from South Carolina. Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State was gone. Kelee Ringo from Georgia is gone. And then Christian Gonzalez from Oregon is gone. The only other guy that I would feel comfortable being in the first round was Travius Hedges Tomlinson from TCU. Smaller guy, more of a nickel, which once again they could need, but just didn't really fit with what I thought their defense needed, along with what the organization has shown. So right off the bat with this pick, your top 3 need positions are gone. And I know a lot of mock drafters, a lot of fans say, okay, here's their 3 needs, whichever the best player available at that one of those 3 positions they go with. That doesn't actually end up happening in the draft. A lot of times they just go off their board and say, well, this is our highest rated player, and it may not be of a position of need. Plus, we still have free agency. So I thought of a couple other positions they could potentially need. Tight end. Well, the only tight end that's at this point worthy of a first-round pick is Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. He's already gone. I don't think Eric Gilbert can't even see the field. Talent-wise, he looks like a stud. Can't even see the field at Georgia. He's not considered. I like Georgia's other tight end for the Titans, not a first-round pick. We look at linebacker. That's another need. Next to David Long. David Long, absolute stud. But they could use someone next to him. Zach Cunningham, not a big fan of him. He's hurt. So Trenton Simpson was an option. Once again, he was already gone. I think the next guy that would kind of fit with what the Titans want to do, Henry TuaTua, not quite sure he's a first-round pick. So when you take all this stuff together, they don't really have the needs. Their needs aren't there for value. That's why I thought, who's good at this spot? He could really fit with the Titans. And that's why I went with Jordan Addison, the wide receiver out of USC. I get a guy that's a field stretcher. You got Treylon Burks, who I really like. And this isn't a shot at Treylon Burks that he's not going to be good. Yes, you're drafting wide receiver two first-round picks in a row. But I look at this team moving forward. At some point, Malik Willis is probably going to take over as their starting quarterback. And what we know about him is he's got a cannon for an arm. They're going to, I think when he eventually takes over, whether it's in 2023 or 2024, they're going to run a lot of play action deep shots, I think. You got Derrick Henry. He's going to be running it heavy. You've got Robert Woods, who's controlling the short to intermediate. You got Treylon Burks, once again, who could still hit it deep, but once again, I think he's going to be kind of your chain mover, get the ball to him over the middle, kind of move him around different places. They could really use that field stretcher. And a guy like Jordan Addison, he had success at Pittsburgh being that downfield weapon for Kenny Pickett. At USC, he's that downfield weapon. He's much more than just a true deep threat, but he's got that ability to win over the top. And I think with a quarterback that you're thinking, we're thinking of the future with Malik Willis, you want a guy that can throw the ball deep and a guy that can run and go get it. And I think Jordan Addison can do that. I think he could be a guy that you put back on punt returns. And I just really think he fits with what this team, I think, is going to eventually move to once Malik Willis gets the starting quarterback job. And even with Tannehill, it's not like he's not able to throw deep too. And so I just think it really fits well with their play action game. They can use them in multiple different ways, and that's kind of why I went with that pick. Let me know what you think of the pick. Did you love it? Do you hate it? Do you understand it? Do you not get it? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this. Hey, be on the lookout. My next mock draft is going to be at the midway point of the NFL season, and I'm going to give you a 7-round Titans mock draft for that one as well. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time.